Windows 7 exploitation. I said like you should be able to get the session, right? Use MSF Metasploit framework and then try to gain the session. How many of you are able to get the session? And if you have any challenges, let us discuss that for 5 minutes. Okay, fine. Maybe like we'll start with the SQL injection vulnerability. After that, when we get time, I'll go through the issues that has been faced by you guys. Okay. Now shut down Windows 7 system so that you can free up some RAM. Any drive access, if you guys don't have it, try to give your Gmail ID to Urimla. She'll be able to provide you access. Okay. In case after that, still if you are not able to get some access due to some or other issues, directly message to me and then I'll provide you access. Shut down Windows 7 system just to save the RAM and storage. Turn on Metasploitable Linux, that is DVW application. Then turn on Kali Linux, log into Kali Linux, then launch DVW application. We are going to work on another vulnerability that is called SQL injection vulnerability. Launch DVWA. What is the IP address of Metasploitable? Still it is getting turned on. The login for Metasploitable Linux is msfadmin, and try to find out the IP address if config. IP address is 130. Okay. Now Kali Linux. enter 192. Okay. Then DVWA. Username is admin. Password is password. Login. Now check your DVWA security is set to low. Then select the page SQL injection. Okay. So here is a get operation, get HTTP get operation. What does it do? Can anyone tell me? What is the purpose or significance of HTTP get method? To get the data. So similar request will be there here. You provide some ID is equal to 3, ID is equal to 1. It will try to get the user details from the database. Submit. So first ID we are getting first name and surname. Provide ID is equal to 1 and get the details. So ID 1 belongs to admin, we are getting the details. This is the normal functionality that has been implemented for this page. Now your task is you have to find the vulnerabilities in this page. Let me give you some other ID. 111 submit. We are not getting any details for 111. May I know the reason? What could be the reason we are not able to get any details for 111? Think of it, or else I'll give 500. Submit. We are not getting any details for 111, 500, 600. The reason is there might not be so many records. There might be less than 111 records. This is the functionality of this page. It will try to get the user details from the application or the database. Our objective is not to test this functionality. Our objective is to find vulnerabilities in this page. How much time you guys need it? 5 minutes? 7:53. 7 minutes. Up to 8 o'clock. Try SQL. Try OS command injection, cross-site script. Then what else we have tried? Cross-site script, OS command injection. That's it. Your time starts now, 7 minutes. To check this functionality, there is no dependency on the previous classes. So there is a page where we try to get the details. Our objective is to find the defect, security defect, that is nothing but vulnerability. In yesterday's revision session also, I have covered what is meant by vulnerability. So even when you get a job, your role is to find vulnerabilities, just like similar pages. Okay, your time starts now, 7 minutes. Yes, voice is not audible. I have given the assignment. Try to work on it. In case if you don't have the setup, get this setup done with the help of our staff. And right now you can just assume some scenarios and post the payload. So whatever you enter in the user ID field, that is called payload. Okay. Tell me the payload. I'll try it on behalf of you who doesn't have the lab setup. Another 3 minutes. Sushma, are you not able to hear us? Reconnect, log out, and then reconnect. What did you guys try? Give me the payloads, what you have tried so far. What payloads do you have used? Let me try host header injection, OS command injection, host name. So it is not vulnerable for. Are you guys not able to hear me? Is it audible? Sai Ishwar. Yes. Fine. Host header injection. Okay. How do you try for cross-site script? Let me try cross-site script. Script alert of script. Submit. No. Then any other payloads what you have tried? Can I get some answers? What are the other payloads you have tried? Do you remember in the session 1 or 2 we have tried 1 or 1 is equal to 1? Can we try that? Cat /etc/passwd. This is for local file inclusion. You guys remember the payload for local file inclusion? No data. How about 1 or 1 is equal to 1? 1 or 1 is equal to 1. Submit. We are getting all the details from the database. So is this a defect or not? I'm trying to get the user details, but for one payload, I'm getting all the details that are there in the database. This is a defect. The reason is, looks like this payload is getting all the details from the database. The reason is when you provide 1 or 1 is equal to 1, the right side operation, that is 1 or 1 is equal to 1 is always true. That's the reason whatever is on the left hand side, it will ignore the condition that is there on the left side. We are able to get complete details from the database. This is one of the example of SQL injection vulnerability. Remember this payload, very important. This payload is very important. Okay. 1 or 1 is equal to 1. All of you try this in the SQL injection page and confirm me. Can you try now? Everyone able to get the details? Okay. Any other vulnerabilities? Any other vulnerabilities? What payloads can I use? Think of it, right? So already we tried lot many scenarios. Does anyone try special characters like this? This is a special case. There will not be any user with this ID, but still I am trying to get these details. Like this, I have given some hint. Try to check if you are able to get some other different responses. Another 3 minutes. Try it out. I would expect at least one of you should be able to find one vulnerability. No, no issues. Not getting. You should give some payload so that the functionality should be different. Sai Ishwar, Aparna. What is the response you guys are getting? Are you able to get some proper response or any different response? Syntax error. I'm going to try a different payload. Just pay attention. We have discussed about W3 schools, right? W3 schools, SQL. Hope everyone remembers the SQL queries. We are going to make use of those SQL queries now. Select, SQL select. Scroll down, try it yourself. Select star from customers, run this query. If I want to get the customer details with ID is equal to 2, customer ID is 2, how do I get, what is the query for it? SQL statement. Can I get the answer in the chat window? Complete query I need, like select star from customers, fill it, complete the statement. How do you get the details? I want the details only with customer ID is equal to 2, where customer ID is equal to 2. Is this correct? Try it out. Run. We are able to get the details of the customer ID. So do you think the similar method will be there in the background of this page? We are able to get the details. If you give something like 2, we are able to get the details. This is a normal functionality, but as a hacker, as an ethical hacker, you need to try some scenarios. Okay, what scenarios can you try now? I'll give you some payload. Let me copy this to the MS Paint. I'm trying this payload. What is the input, do you think? Is this the input I'm giving? That's it, right? From the UI, I'm giving just 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. What in case if I give, instead of 2, I give 2 single quote. If I give 2 single quote, is this the proper syntax or not? Will it form the proper syntax? Yes or no? You first try in W3 schools. Instead of 2, I provide additional colon, additional single quote. Run the query. It is giving us the error. What is that error? Couldn't prepare the statement. Yeah, obviously, because the syntax is not proper. So when I directly run these queries, I'm getting the error. How about trying the same thing in this application? As a hacker, you know how to break the statements in the database backend. By giving two single quote, I'm trying to break the statements in the database backend. Let us see what we are going to get. We got the error. You have an error in your SQL syntax. Check that manual to your MySQL Server version for the right syntax to use, so and so. It says like your syntax is not correct. Is this a vulnerability or not? Yes or no? If yes, then tell me what severity do you give? Low, medium, high, critical. Is this a vulnerability? Yes or no? If yes, then what is the severity you are going to give? Many people says it is low. Some people says high and critical. Does anyone wants to give the explanation why it is critical? I'll give the axis, mic axis. Tell me why this vulnerability is critical. What are the things that has been impacted out of CIA? Anyone? Make use of mic. Just give the details like why this vulnerability is critical or high. 2 minutes for you. No one. Should I call out names?
So can I?
Yes, yes. Go ahead, Anita.
Yeah, thank you. So it is displaying the SQL version, MySQL Server version.
Okay. So you're saying it is critical?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So confidentiality should be impacted, but just by knowing the version of the SQL, definitely this is a vulnerability. I agree, but right now the answer is correct, but the reason behind that answer partially correct. We'll discuss that. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thanks, Anita. Next person. Anyone? 1 minute left. Utilize this opportunity. It can be wrong. Just tell me like why it is critical.
Yes, sir. I am Anil, sir.
Go ahead, Anil.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, you show me that this sentence is you can give the near to two. This is the information to give the statement, sir. This is
Okay.
the one vulnerability.
Okay.
That's why it is a critical.
Okay, you're saying like it is a security defect that is a critical, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Anyone
Yes.
else? Fine, Anil. Last one person. Divya. No answers. Okay, I'll give the explanation. So for the person who is not into ethical hacking or who doesn't know the cyber security, right? If they see similar kind of pages as a normal user also, sometimes you might have seen like in some government websites or some of the applications, you may get these kind of simple error messages. These are not simple error messages. Behind that, there will be a lot of critical vulnerabilities. You just need to have some knowledge on ethical hacking. Let us see why it is critical. Of course, it is a critical vulnerability. So as of now, we have found a vulnerability. We didn't exploit it. Exploitation means trying to extract some details. We have got few details like MySQL version, yes, some details, but the exact database details we didn't get it. Let us see how we can extract some database details. This is one of the toughest lab for our entire course. This will be little tough. You should know the database queries to understand these concepts. So try to understand as much as you can. If you're not able to understand, don't worry. Refer the video 4 to 5 times. I'm sure you'll be able to perform the similar lab. Okay, let us get started then. This is the URL which I'm getting the error. I copy the URL and open the editor, text editor, and copied over the text editor. Let me save it as some file. sql.txt. To single quote, right? I have got the vulnerability. What I'm going to do is I follow a pattern of finding the database or extracting the database. In the interview also, they will ask you like, how do you extract the database if there is a vulnerability? First step, find vulnerability. Find SQL injection vulnerability by giving payloads like, I have used single quote, you can use double quote or percentage, ampersand. Okay, any kind of characters you can use where you are trying to modify the syntax of the SQL statement. First step is find the vulnerability. Second step is find total number of columns. So the third step is find vulnerable column. And the last step is extract database content. These are the 4 steps that we follow to completely compromise the database. We'll go one after another. Let us come back to the application. Very simple, in a very simple fashion, I'm going to explain this. To single quote, yes, we are able to get the error. Now, go to the editor. The reason why 2 single quote is giving the error is the syntax is becoming wrong. Instead of 2 single quote, I'll put double hyphen space plus. Remember, double hyphen is used for end of the comments. Go to the W3 schools. Double hyphen means it is the end of the comment, end of the statement. Whatever you type, for example, Hari, I am giving training, I am trainer. Some message you type, whatever you type after this will be ignored by your SQL Management Studio or SQL compiler. Run this. Here it is not working, but in general, double hyphen is for comments. So you can type anything after double hyphen plus. Only thing is, instead of giving there, I try to give it like this. So we are trying to make the condition true here. Okay. So go back to the DBW application, double hyphen plus. So earlier statement is this one. Copy the entire statement. Just include double hyphen plus after single quote. Double hyphen space plus operation. Then copy the entire line. I'm trying to make the syntax perfect. That's it. Paste it, enter. We are able to get the output now. So though we are giving some additional characters, additional payloads, we are able to get the output. So I can do some more modification. Can I get the answer like, what do we use to sort the items? What is a keyword that can be used for sorting the items? We discussed about database, right? Can I give like order by, I wanted to sort with column 1 descending. That's it. So what it is going to do, it is going to sort the items with column number 1. What is the column number 1? ID. If you want to sort with column number 2, what is the change you are going to perform in this? If I want to sort the list with column number 2, what is the change you are going to do? First, let me run this. Copy, paste over the screen, enter. Yes, we are able to get the output. If I want to sort with column number 2, very simple change. Copy this entire line. Order by 2. Okay. So we are trying to sort the entire list with column number 2. Copy that entire statement. All of you pay attention. You can practice it later once I finish this. Okay. Enter. We are able to get the output even when you sort with column number 2. Try to sort with column number 3. Copy the entire statement. Order by 3. Then copy the entire line. Paste over here the URL. Enter. Okay. Again, one more error we got. What is the error? And with that, can we conclude something? Think of it for 2 minutes and tell me. The error says unknown column 3 in order class. What does it mean? Anyone? You are trying to run a query and you want to sort the items with some column number which doesn't exist. That's the reason unknown column it says. Column doesn't exist. Can I confirm like how many columns are there in a table? I don't know the table name. I don't know the database name, but can I conclude how many columns are there in the database in a table? If I sort it with column number 1, it works. If I sort it with column number 2, it works. If I sort it with column number 3, it is not working, which means that try to sort it with column number 100. Order by 100 descending. The same error. Basically, there are only 2 columns in a table. I don't know the table name, but based on my analysis with respect to the application, I'm able to find out there are 2 columns in a table. Okay, fine. Rows, we don't know about the rows. We'll try to get the details later. We'll go in a specific approach. Try to sort it with column number 3. What did we get? We got an error, unknown column. With this, I'm able to conclude that there are 2 columns in a table. Fair enough. Now I want to find out vulnerable column. So out of 2 columns, to find out the vulnerable column, I make use of a keyword called union select. Instead of order by, after 2 single quote, I give union space select. What is the purpose of union? Can anyone tell me? What is the purpose of union? We just discussed in the last week. It will combine or club 2 statements, right? And it will give the output. On the left hand side of the union, how many columns we have? 2 columns. So on the right hand side of the union also, there should be 2 columns. Just for time purpose, I'm giving 1, 2. Okay. So I framed the sentence, I framed the statement, copy that entire statement. Then paste over here in the browser. Paste over the browser, enter. We are able to get the details. Can you see that like the output of this payload? So far, we are getting only one output. Now we get two responses. This is an actual output which we are supposed to get. Along with that, we are able to get some more responses. The right side of the union operator. Select 1, 2, we said. In the place of first name, we are getting 1. In the place of surname, we are getting 2. Let me try to modify the details. Some more details in that statement. Union select, instead of 1, 2, I give like 100, 200. You can give anything, any numbers. Copy the entire statement, paste over the browser, enter. We are getting first name and last name. So looks like both the columns are vulnerable, but to access the data, we just need only one column. We'll modify a few more details. In the first column, I want to check whether it is vulnerable or not. So I give database. Remember, these are some of the keywords that are used where your database can understand these keywords. Okay, so it has to extract the database version or database name. Copy the entire line. Check if you are able to get the database name. Enter. Okay, what is the output? In the place of first name, we are getting the DBWA. What is the database instance name? There might be a lot of databases, but we are trying to get the current database that is used for DBW application. Database name is DBWA. And so the column number 1 is vulnerable. If you want to check column number 2 is vulnerable, I can check the same thing here, database. These are the keywords, okay? Just like order by, union select, database, user, version. These are the keywords. Keywords are the MySQL. Enter. So we got the response as DBWA and then DBWA. I'll try to modify a few more details. Instead of database, I give version of bracket. I should be able to get database version. Let us see. Okay. So DBWA is a database and its version is 5051312. Looks like it is the OS version or database version. Okay. How about the user? Database user which runs these queries? Can we check that? Give a keyword. Instead of version, I give like user. Root @ localhost. Root is the user and the computer name or the group, I guess, that is the local host. Okay. So this is the user which is running these queries. So out of two columns are vulnerable. Both the columns are vulnerable. We just need one column for extracting the database. Okay. So how do we fetch other details? Now that we know, we are able to find vulnerable column. 3 steps are done. Vulnerable columns are 1 and 2. I make use of these columns. Then 4th step, extract database. For extracting database, I'm going to use default schema tables. Remember, in the place of first column, I'm going to replace with some queries. We'll do that now. Okay. There are some statements which are readily available. No need to by heart that, because these are all for exploitation purpose. They'll not ask you in the interview, just for your understanding how to extract or compromise database. We make use of default schema tables for it. File, open, SQL, desktop, SQL queries. I have the existing queries. I try to copy it from there. Remember, whatever you type, try to put it between union and double hyphen. Okay. after union and between union and double hyphen, whatever is there, just copy that, go back to the your query, try to do that changes. First copy the earlier statement, paste over here. Then we have database and we have user. I try to make use of, so this is the actual query. Then between double hyphen and between union, you select this entire string and then replace it. So I'm trying to copy that entire string after union and between double hyphen, cut, paste over there. It should frame a syntax, proper syntax. You can see that union select 1, 2. In the place of 1, I have selected table names. In the place of 2, as it is 2, from which is the table information under schema dot tables. Okay, and we are trying to filter with database name, followed with double hyphen plus. Copy the entire string, copy, paste over the browser, execute. So we are trying to get the database tables. Are we able to get? So there are 2 tables in DVWA instance. Those 2 tables are guestbook and users. So each table might be having some rows and columns. So what should we find next? We got the tables, we got the database name, we got the table names. What next? Try to modify the query and we should be able to get columns now. We are able to get the table names as guestbook and then users. We have to get into any of these tables and then try to extract columns. So group underscore concat of table name. Earlier it was table name. Now it might be a column name. And even information underscore schema dot columns. Let us try to take it from our previous queries. After union, copy the entire thing. Group underscore concat of column name is there, comma 2. Again, schema dot columns. You need to make use of table name. Table name is equal to something is there. Okay, we'll try to table name is equal to users. This is the one which you have to copy. Copy till double hyphen. Start from union. Copy till double hyphen. Copy that. Go to the actual queries. Now paste over here. I try to frame the statement. Control X. Then after union and before double hyphen, paste it over there. We frame the correct statement without any syntax errors. Group concat of column names, so and so where table underscore name is equal to users. You can select either users or guestbook. For now, I have selected users. Copy the entire statement, paste over the browser, execute. Okay, it is saying unknown column users. Maybe for some of these tables, we have to give these users in the form of hexadecimal format, hex format. Okay, we need to convert that into X format. For time being, just assume like I have already converted it, and the hex format of that is, let me change from users to hex format of users. So I should put like 0x and the value of hexadecimal format. This is the one. Copy. Instead of users, I'm trying to put the hex format of these users. Go back, paste over here, then take the entire statement, copy, then put it over the browser bar, enter. We are able to get the output. So the total number of columns under users is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 columns are there: user ID, first name, last name, user, password, and avatar. We are able to get columns from users. What next? We need to extract the database. So how do we extract the database? Change the default schema statement, scroll down. So group underscore concat of whatever are the columns you want to extract the output, we can make use of that. And then from users, we know the users table. So directly from users, we should be able to extract this. Okay. So copy after union till double hyphen, copy that, go back to the file where you want to construct. Union, replace. So I'm trying to get user ID, first name, last name, user, password, so on so. From users, copy the entire statement. Paste over the browser. Yes. Are we able to get the response from the user interface? One admin, but everything is combined. We don't know whether the first name is admin or admin. So let us try to differentiate this with the help of some kind of characters. We need to convert into hexa string. Okay, string to hexa string. Just type string to hex converter. First link I have selected. Earlier for users, what I did, convert 0x, this is a value for users. I try to separate this user ID password with some kind of character. For time being, colon I'll try to put. Colon or colon I want to replace, convert. So 0x3a. So the same statement, what I'm going to do is, I try to differentiate these values with 0x3a. User ID is there. Try to put 0x3a and again, comma. So if I give this, ID will be separated by single quote colon. Okay. Then first name, after first name, I'm trying to give again one more colon, after last name, one more colon, after user, one more colon. That's it. If I run this query, I should be able to get the output with proper separation from the fields. Okay. Enter. So now you see that one colon, admin colon, admin colon. Now I can say like this is the first name, this is the last name, this is the user ID, this is the password. Okay. Are we able to extract the complete database content? Yes or no? Leave about how we are able to extract it. The question is, just from the UI, just from the web page, are we able to extract the complete database? Yes. So what is the severity we have to give for this vulnerability? I have selected users table. So I'm able to get users data. If I select guest book, I should be able to get the guest book database details. Think like you are working for, you have an account in Gmail or Facebook. If you are able to extract the database content from those websites, definitely it is going to be a critical. Beyond the critical, I can say, if any vulnerability exists like this in the real-time applications, definitely you will be paid minimum 30 lakhs for this defect, 30 or 40 or 50 lakhs. That is called bug bounty program. I'm going to discuss that bug bounties later some point of time. Let us see. Okay. You got it right. So here we have compromised the confidentiality. These are the statements. I'm going to copy these statements from Kali Linux to the shared drive. Whatever the queries or the statements I have used for getting the extracting the database. Remember, I have used 4 steps. First, find the vulnerability by using the SQL injection payload. Second step is find total number of columns using order by keyword. Then find vulnerable column using union select. Then extract database content using default schema tables. This is the approach which I have used for extracting the database. Out of all the practical labs in our course, this is the toughest one because you should know the database, you should know the database queries, and you should know the approach. So far, I have done this and then found out there is a users table. From users table, I have extracted the data. Okay. But how many tables are there total? We have guest book and we have the users. So can I get guest book for tomorrow's assignment? Follow the same approach and you need to extract guest book table, not the users table for the tomorrow's. Yeah, and also you need to practice that. First practice with users. I'll give you the queries, practice that. Try to understand the syntax and then practice. Just don't copy paste. Try to understand like how we are able to construct these queries. This is for practice. And after the practice, this is for assignment. Try it out. If you're not able to do, I'll do it in tomorrow's session. Let me take all these statements for your reference. I'll try to copy right now all these things. I'll mention clear steps. This is the step 1, right? Finding vulnerability. Step 2, finding total number of columns. Once you conclude, then step 3, find vulnerable column. For that, we have used union select. Then step 4, extracting the content. So at least 3 steps you should be able to perform. Leave about extracting the complete database. These are complex process, but try it out. If you are doing both from end to end, that will be really grateful. Fine. Is it clear how we are able to extract the data? I'm sharing these scripts. Try to refer these scripts. I'll share this file in a shared drive immediately. Okay, you can take it from there. Within 10 minutes. Okay, done. Okay, guys, thank you so much. If you have any queries or doubts, try to reach out to support number from 11 onwards. Have a great day. We'll connect tomorrow again. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, 2 days, we are going to work on database queries only. Still, we are left with 2 days for this SQL injection vulnerabilities. So try it out. And if you have any queries, get in touch with support. If not, tomorrow morning again we'll discuss. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye bye.